We are doing a fight in New York, and Antonio and James Prince brought Jennings to see me. I really took a liking to him. He's a very intelligent guy, a clean living guy. We think that if he goes back on the board, he can develop into a real threat. There's 4 titles out there. We can make a run with Jennings in the short term for one of those titles. Of course, for Parker Jennings to happen, Parker has to get past Hughie Fury. But if we're successful with Parker and successful with Bryant, I would match them in the spring on ESPN. You would think so, that a Parker fight can be made. Making that fight to me is very possible. Don't be surprised if you see that fight in the next 6 months to a year. Those are the words of promoter Bob Arum. And as you hear there, he's looking to try and match WBO heavyweight world champion Joseph Parker with another one of his heavyweights, Bryant Jennings. Now, some of you might not be aware that Bob Arum actually handles the promotion for Joseph Parker in the US. So when Parker's fighting in the US, or in fact, even when Parker's not fighting in the US, you'll actually find Top Rank screening Parker's fights on their website. So yeah, he does, as far as I'm aware, have some type of promotional deal with Joseph Parker. So he also has Bryant Jennings. He can match them together. You know, it's easily done. How do you think that fight would go? Has Bryant Jennings been out too long? Could he give Joseph Parker trouble? A lot of you guys out there don't seem to rate Joseph Parker. Personally, I think he's a good fighter. I think some of you guys are a little harsh on him. I think styles make fights, and I know I say that ad nauseum, but it really is one of the most accurate sayings in the game. And just because Parker maybe didn't look $1 million against certain guys, it don't mean he can't give other guys trouble. So the issue for me, as I just alluded to a few seconds ago with Bryant Jennings, is the layoff. He's been out a long time. The last time he fought was against Luis Ortiz. Since then, he's been in training camps a few times. He was sparring David Haye, helping him prepare for the Tony Bellew fight, but he ain't been fighting in the ring. So it's been a long time this guy's been out. Let's see how he looks on the undercard of Terence Crawford versus Julius Ndongo. But yeah, you could get Joseph Parker versus Bryant Jennings in a not too distant future if Joseph Parker manages to get past Hughie Fury. And I do not believe that's a foregone conclusion. I'll do a separate video about that. But Hughie Fury, I think, has some nice slick skills. And he does have the physical and technical ability to give Joseph Parker all he can handle. I just don't know whether Hughie Fury has it mentally and emotionally to succeed at the top level. I'm not saying he don't. I'm just saying the jury's still out for me. He hasn't really been through them gut checks. He hasn't really had to dig deep yet. You know, he hasn't been in the positions that his cousin Tyson Fury had been in prior to challenging for the world title. Tyson Fury had been in life and death fights. He'd have to climb off the floor several times. He'd been hurt. And he'd passed them gut checks, Tyson Fury. Hughie hasn't had to pass that. So I don't know where he's at mentally and emotionally. And the reason that there's a question mark there for me is not just because he hasn't been through those gut checks, but also because he has turned down so many fights. He turned down a fight with Dylan White, turned down a fight with Deontay Wilder several times, turned down a fight with Anthony Joshua several times. He's had several other fights fall through. So I'm definitely one of those people that has questions about where Hughie Fury is at mentally and emotionally. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. A potential fight between Joseph Parker and Bryant Jennings. How do you feel about it? And yeah, everything else I touched on in this video. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure you click the notification bell below this video. It should be next to the subscribe button to receive alerts for all my future uploads. And also take a look at the selection of 4 other videos which should be appearing on screen right now or very shortly, which I uploaded recently. You might want to take a look at those and watch some of those if you haven't seen them before. So thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Share the video, favorite the video. It's all good. All right, it's happening. I'm out.